want to take you through a step-by-step walkthrough on how to sell private label products on Amazon. So what are private label products? Well, private label products are products that you buy from a manufacturer, but you brand and label them yourself with your own brand so that they stand out, they're distinctive, and they're unique items on Amazon. And then you use Amazon FBA as a system, as a process to build your business and create a valuable and trusted brand. The starting point is you need to decide what you're going to sell, and this obviously requires a certain amount of brainstorming. So you need to go and do some research, and you could do things like look for new trending products. You can actually go to the hot new releases section of Amazon itself, see what other people are doing and see if there's something there that really appeals to you that you think you can do something unique with. You can also, and this is a really good top tip, look at crowdfunding sites, see what cool products are being funded there, and can you private label something similar from a generic manufacturer. You do need to bear in mind that your product, whatever you decide to sell, has to have, in my view, some very specific characteristics, some attributes. It should be small and lightweight, which means it's easy to ship and easy to store for Amazon, which will keep your costs down. It should be non-seasonal wherever possible. You don't want to have a business which only works 3 months of the year. It should be unregulated. Don't get into food or toys or batteries or anything like that where there are complex central regulations which are going to make selling your product difficult. Keep the product as simple as possible. So you don't want something really complicated like something high tech. And if at all possible, you don't want to be selling shoes because you don't want to have to carry lots of different sizes. So one size fits all is a pretty good rule as well. In price terms, you should be looking for products when you're starting out somewhere between $20 and $50. You want to be at least at $20 to make sure that each sale gets you a reasonable amount of profit. You don't want to be more than $50 because you start moving into what I would call not everyday purchases. And also when the purchase value goes up, the customer's more likely to go towards the major well-known brands rather than going for your own private label brand. So staying between $20 and $50 is a good piece of advice. Don't forget, you have to cover all the costs of your goods. You have to cover all of Amazon's fees and any promotions that you want to run yourself on top of that. I suggest that you start off with some market research. I like and I use the Jungle Scout Chrome extension, which you can see here in the screen. I've actually just looked up Dachshund ice cube trays. My stepdaughter has a very sweet Dachshund, and one thing I've learned from that is Dachshund owners are passionate. We have a border collie, but we don't have the same passion that Dachshund owners have, I can tell you. So I think Dachshund ice trays, I actually gave her one of these for Christmas. Dachshund ice trays are a really great product as an example. And if you look at more detail, you can see the sale price, the monthly sales, the daily sales, monthly revenues, numbers of reviews that the listing has got, the ratings and the Amazon rankings. So you start to get a feel for really where the product is positioned. And then you have to think how you make your product, in this case your wonderful ice tray, stand out to Dachshund lovers. Bear in mind, you should be looking for sales of between 200 and 400 units a month to make it worthwhile. And if you're ideally looking to compete with an existing product that's out there, albeit you're going to obviously differentiate your product, look for something that's got less than 100 reviews. I didn't set out to achieve that. I just picked out the Dachshund ice cube tray because I thought it was a funky product. Now you have to find a supplier to make it for you, and the place to go for this is Alibaba.com, which is the Amazon of China for manufacturing products, and there are millions of products and millions of suppliers to be found there. So you go and create an account on Alibaba.com and you search for your product, and here's the ice cube tray. You want to check that the supplier is a verified supplier. And in fact, you can use that as a filter when you're doing your search anyway, and just clear them all out. Just go for verified suppliers. And then you need to have a look and see what the price per unit of the item is when you order, say, 500. Now, given that you can see that it's 85 cents if you order 500 to 999 pieces, which you can see here, but it's 92 cents if you order less than 92 pieces. So you're basically talking an outlay of a few $100s, but the markup on the ice tray, bear in mind it's selling for $6 or $7, is enormous. Now, the next thing you need to worry about is getting a sample shipped to you, and how much is that going to cost, and what payment terms do they accept from this particular supplier. So these are the sorts of details you need to be looking at. You also need to be thinking about how you can customize the product to make it unique and really appeal to your customers. Maybe this red one could be made in pink silicone, so you're different to your competitors. And I know both my stepdaughters love pink, so the combination of the Dachshund and pink has to be a winner in my view. But a lot of this information is on the Alibaba suppliers page. You should find 3 to 5 suppliers and order a sample from each one. You don't want to just go for the first supplier you find. This is going to be important in terms of you being able to compare the quality of the product, and as you'll see, you'll also be able to use the terms that you get from each of them to negotiate a better deal with the supplier that you want to pick. Now you should go and think about designing your logo, your overall product design and your packaging. And if you're not, as I am, the most creative and design brilliant person, then you can go to Fiverr or go to Jungle Scout's freelancer marketplace, which you can see here. And there you'll find lots of people who can help you with all aspects of your Amazon FBA business. Make sure that your packaging includes brand name, product photo, manufacturing details, and any legal information you need to have on the packaging. A top tip is to make the best packaging that you can to really make your product stand out. This really improves the customer experience. If you want a good example of this, if you've ever bought an Apple product, look at the care and attention they put into their packaging. It is truly phenomenal. And if you can go even some distance towards equaling that, then it'll make your product stand out. It'll make your product feel much better. And if somebody wants to give it as a gift, it makes it even more tempting, and therefore it positions you uniquely in the market. The next question is, how are you going to fulfill the sales that you're going to get? How are you going to organize your fulfillment? Well, of course, one option is to get all the boxes in your garage and do everything yourself from there, which I do not recommend. What I do recommend is that you obviously go down the FBA route and you use Amazon to do the fulfillment for you. Amazon FBA is a game changer. You basically get your supplier to send your inventory directly from their factory to Amazon, and Amazon will tell you exactly which warehouse they want you to send it to once you tell them what the item is. They then will handle storage, they'll handle all the sales, the picking, the packing, and the dispatch, and they even handle customer service as well, which is phenomenal. So far your checklist is choosing your product, getting your logo, your design, your packaging sorting out, and making the decision, which is not a difficult one, to use Amazon FBA for your fulfillment. Now you have to make your decision on your supplier. And think about things like, how quickly did they respond to you when you made your inquiry? What is the quality of the product sample they have sent you? How good was the communication? Now, this is not at this point necessarily a question, an issue of cost, because you're really looking for a long-term partnership. And you also want to be confident that when you put in your next order to restock, because you don't want any stock outages, it'll cost you money, that they're going to respond and you'll get the stock into the warehouse in a timely fashion. So that's really important. Then you can use your other quote to negotiate the price with the supplier that you actually want to do business with, and maybe get them down a few cents per item. You then place your first order with them, and you should be looking for an order size which is going to basically keep you stocked for at least 6 weeks. So work out how many daily sales, monthly sales you're expecting, and your first order ought to cover you for at least 6 weeks. And you can now start to think about creating your listing, because you're going to have to wait probably 4 to 6 weeks before your inventory arrives in the Amazon warehouse. It might be faster than that, but you should work on that as a basis. So when you're looking at the detail of your listing, you need to really focus in on the text to make sure you've got all the detail right. You should look to create product photographs and ensure that your photographs all include your logos and your branding very prominently, which makes it much more difficult for somebody to hijack your listing. If you want to create a video, that would be good too. If you're not very good at photography or video making, consider using a professional or a freelancer to get really great images to make your product stand out. Your product listing has 4 main elements to it. The title, which is up to 200 characters. Your photographs and videos, I recommend you have a minimum of at least 6, and to create a video if you can. The pricing of the item and its detailed description. So there's quite a lot to get right there. There are freelancers who will help you with this if you need them. Definitely give careful consideration to your title. This is all about search engine optimization and keywords, and you need to decide which keywords you want to rank for your product. Consider using Jungle Scout's keyword tool here to see what keywords your competitors are ranking for, and then work out how you're going to craft your title to get that to work for you. In the product description field, make sure to explain the best characteristics and benefits of your product. Remember, you're addressing your customers' wants and needs. And think about the acronym WIIFM. This is what your customer's thinking. What is in it for me? So that's how you need to write your product description. So let's talk now about pricing. Don't join the rush to the bottom. Yes, the buy box gets taken by the person with the cheapest price, but try to differentiate on quality, on features, on presentation, on your packaging, rather than just on the lowest price. And the more you can use really striking and professional product photographs to make your product stand out, the more chance you have of somebody actually opting for your product, even if it's not the cheapest. Now, I use what I call the 20% rule, which is to not overprice. So have your higher price not more than 20% higher than your main competitor's price. So it's not too much of a premium for your customer to pay for your excellent quality. And that's the key lesson there. You can also use Amazon's Seller FBA calculator to work out the profit margin for your product, because this takes into account all the costs and all the Amazon fees. You can see a screenshot of it there. You simply put in your ASIN and it'll then help you it fills out all the rest of the characteristics for you. Make sure you've selected the right country. So to summarize, we've decided on a product we wanted to sell. We've made sure that it fits the right attributes and the price range that we want to fit into. We've done our market research with Jungle Scout to make sure that it's a popular selling product. We've worked out ways to differentiate the product in the market to make it really stand out. We've done our Alibaba supplier search, found 3 to 5 suppliers who are going to supply our product to us, and we've ordered some samples. We've then designed our brand, our logo, and our packaging. We've opted, and I strongly recommend you do this, for the fulfillment by Amazon. Then you've made your supplier decision, you've placed your initial order, you've prepared your detailed listing with its 4 key elements, and you've obeyed my 20% pricing rule. So that's it. As soon as your inventory arrives in the Amazon warehouse, you can launch your new product and your Amazon FBA business. So that's how you sell private label products on Amazon. It's a great business to be in. It does require a degree of hard work. It's not entirely passive income, but it is a fantastic marketplace and I strongly recommend it.